Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, it is time for Top of the Morning, best 30-minute morning show on the internet. Of course, you're joined by the TUC twins. Head over to tuconservative.com, get yourself a membership. If you would like to support the podcast, that is the way you can do it. Also, check us out on our streaming apps, anywhere you listen to podcasts. We drop new episodes on Friday, so make sure you do that. We literally on everything. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Wednesday morning got off to a
Yeah.
good start for you. Hope you didn't stub your toe on the way to get coffee and nothing, just riding out on a very, very positive vibe. I got a real quick, bro, before we get into this show.
Yeah.
I definitely got to give a big shout out to all of the candidates running in these municipal elections.
Yes.
Especially out here in the town of Southampton. These guys are working, guys and gals, should I say, are working really hard. And we definitely need to get these folks elected. So make sure, early voting is underway. Make sure you get out, get that early voting in, and participate, man. Make your voice heard, make your vote heard, get engaged, and be part of the process of making sure we can get folks in there that represent our values and policy ideas that are going to work for our communities. So there you go. But yeah, definitely shouts out to Rocky Mount. Man, did we just see a spectacle in Rocky Mount? We're going to talk about that probably tomorrow. But we just bore witness to a spectacle. I shall call it, Ali. That's what I'll call it.
Yeah. I will definitely. Spectacle is a good word.
Mhm. Yeah.
If you want to go with that, I was thinking something a little more colorful along the lines, but spectacle will be fine.
Yeah,
Yo.
yeah.
I was thinking
Absolutely
something
not.
more along the
Absolutely
line
not.
that rhymes with mishmo, but mishmo.
Okay.
That's my new word,
Well,
mishmo.
okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. So, what are you drinking? What's the mug shot for today? What you got?
Oh, the mugshot for today is we plain black and gold mugging it. Nothing crazy, just plain black
Okay.
mugging it.
Yeah,
I do have
I'm supporting corporate America today by the brand. You don't need. Do you need to see more? Do you need to see more? Need
yeah,
to see
yo,
more.
so listen, let me throw this out there since you mentioned municipal candidates. We do have municipal elections going on here in North Carolina as well. You've got your mayor's races going on here in Mecklenburg. You've got county commissioners, school board. I got to give a big shout out to my man James Bowers that is running for Charlotte City Council. Make sure if you live in the city of Charlotte, you get out, you cast your vote. Early voting is going on right now. Election day is coming up next Tuesday. So make sure you get out, get your vote on. There's also a runoff going in Rocky Mount, bro. There's a
Okay.
mayoral runoff, Sandy Robertson versus Mrs. Stokes out there. So we'll definitely do an election day special when we get to municipal elections next week. But this morning, bro.
Mhm.
So, well, one of the things that I think, and if you remember back when we first really started getting into politics, one of the things that we heard from the people that were closest to us was when we started thinking a little differently that that's coonery, that's not necessary. You sure you black? Like, yo, you black and you talking like that? Like we've heard like heard that
Recently. Yeah,
recently.
recently. Yep.
Yeah, at top of the morning, shouts out to the Granville GOP. So, one of the interesting things, bro, and before I talk about this story, what I ended up having to do, because I wanted to make sure that who I was talking about, right? So, when you go to Kentucky, they're in their governor's race right now. And when you look at a guy like this, okay,
Okay.
you look at a guy like that and you go, wife, kid, and now all things considered, right? All things considered, you have to work. You don't become the attorney general. Whether, for a state, he got 58% of the vote in 113 out of 120 counties. First African American elected to a standalone statewide office in Kentucky history, and the first Republican to hold the office of Attorney General since 1948. Okay.
Hold on. Scroll up, please. Scroll up. Go back down, please.
I'm going back down.
Okay, I'd like to go. One thing just stuck out to me. Daniel grew up in Elizabethtown. His parents owned a coffee shop. So his parents were what?
Entrepreneurs, business owners.
Okay.
A coffee shop sounds like a small business owner to me.
That's what I was alluding to. And Daniel was active in youth sports and his local church. Okay, he played football for the Cardinals. Okay. So I had to highlight that because now you can carry on what you were saying, but as stuck out to me to know that background.
Well, no, and even more so, though Daniel liked to remind everyone that he had the best seat in the house, which was on the bench. So he's not like, I was a football star. No, I played on the team. I might have played a few plays. There's a level of humility that comes through when you ensure that a line like that is on your bio, is all I'm saying.
Well, and then at some point you come to the realization, like we did, that we're 5'5" and that the NBA is not a possibility, as it were. no matter how good you can put the ball through your legs and how you get, you're 5'5", sir. That's what you are, and that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So he's a pro-life dude. Okay. Apparently, he the whole Breonna Taylor situation, one thing, but this is why I bring this up and why it's called Soros in the Hood. So you would think, looking at somebody like this, who is a prime example of what we want Americans to be, bro, you go to high school, you get married, you have a kid, you work hard, you climb the ladder, to success. You do all of those things.
Yeah, and they got a cute little baby. That's enough. Look, cute little boy. Look at little boy. He's cute.
Cute little boy, right?
Cute little boy. Yeah. A little attractive couple, young couple. This is what we need to see in Congress, right? I understand. And listen, our Senate right now, it looks like our Senate, if you were to put them all together right now, respectfully, I'm just saying, it looks very gray in there. It's very gray. It's a lot of gray in there. And that's important because you have to remember something. This is about generations, and this is about the transition of our country through, and I don't want to be wordy about it, Ali, but as we live and we pass the mantle, if you will, to the next generation, we have to bring in people that have the wherewithal to understand that it is about the next generation and not for right now and doing the money grabbing that we see in the insider trading and the, all of this nonsense that we see going on. And policies that are not benefiting these communities. They're like right now, I don't care which party you want to call it, there are cities, if we start from the outcome, which is the kids can't read, and then trace the problem to see we're spending lots of money. All right, the kids can't read here. How much are we spending on the kids? Like that, shouldn't that be the next logical question? Mm-hmm. So if we see that we're spending money and the kids are not learning and we're doing all of these things, it's bad policies. There's somewhere in there, something's ineffective. So young minds, young educated people like this gentleman need to be in Congress. This is who we should be sending to Congress. But I mean, for running,
that's who
and
you
he's
would
running
want
for
to be
governor.
A governor.
Yeah, right. You would want this guy to be a governor. I could see him running for anything.
Right.
I mean, but for anything.
So Obama, with a not very dissimilar, right? Not a very dissimilar upbringing in that he had an education and he became an educator. This guy is as clean, if not cleaner, than Barack Obama. But then you get this. The George Soros funded group, Black Voters Matters Action Pack say he is an Uncle Tom, and in their ad they say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Have you heard that one before, bro? All
Yep.
skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, right? This is what we got to look at. And the reason I bring up the George Soros part of this is because the far left group is funded by George Soros's group. Shows they got money from Soros's super PAC. And they've been running the radio ad on local R&B stations in Jeffersontown, Kentucky, describing Cameron. They call him Uncle Daniel Cameron and accuse him of betraying his race by declaring skin folk ain't kinfolk. This is the ad cut. You ready? What's up, Kentucky? It's election time, and all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Over the past few years, we've taken to the streets to demand racial justice, to demand health care, and demand the right to make decisions about our body. And now, Uncle Daniel Cameron is threatening to take us backward. The same man who refused to seek justice for Breonna Taylor now wants to run our whole state. That's what the ad says.
Yeah, I miss the dueling days personally.
Like, come on.
All right, who's the guy?
Who's the guy came up with about this? Their body?
Who can't no. Okay. So this came from a Soros funded group, right?
Yeah, it came from these people. It came from these folks.
Now we've had a run-in with these folks. We've had a run-in with these folks. And I'll put it to you like this, right? This is a concentrated, paid for, well-funded effort to. So here's the thing, bro. I almost want to give out free mental health assessments. Like, I wish we could set it up to have free mental health assessments, because there has to be something going on with this much access to information and data that you still make these subscriptions to this idea of white supremacy being the driving force behind disparities in 2023. Like, if you actually subscribe to the narrative that the white man is, and white people have an agenda, a political agenda to hold down melanated people for any reasons related to the survival of the white race. I'm not sure if you've seen Daniel's picture, but everybody's going to be beige soon. Like, I don't know if y'all are noticing what's happening. Everybody's falling in love with everybody. Everybody's marrying everybody. So you got, I don't know what y'all think is going on. Like, statistically, this idea that there's a majority of white people, we got to knock it off, because they don't all agree that they're one group. So you got the Germans, but then you got people from England. Then you got people from, and y'all lumping all these people together like, but they're all white. Yeah, but they all don't get agreed to be that they're the same thing. You making them all. And now if somebody that's American, right, with Russian descent, let's give you a perfect example. Norman Schwarzkopf. Mm-hmm. What was our former general's name? What was his name? Had a Russian last name, like a German Russian last name.
You just said Schwarzkopf. That was him.
Yeah, but if you understood American history and how Germans came here from Germany during the 16 to 1700s and 1800s, then you'd understand why some of these people have Dutch and German, all these different last names. Yeah, you're calling them white. Yeah, you're lumping all of these people in with the people that came during this time, and it's perpetrating a fallacy. So I not to go on a rant about it, bro, but then there's this idea, like I said, that these people here, Black Voters Matter, they act, they're them, and what's the other group? The Working Families Party. Why do all of their websites, all of their stuff look the same? Why do they all use the same color? You know, why does all of this look the same? Y'all got to ask yourself these questions.
Right. And the interesting thing that I find about these groups, especially when they attack somebody like Cameron out there, these are people that are anti-family. They're about everything else. Cancel student debt, make student loans. Not let's keep families together. Not let's build Black families. Not let's figure out ways to keep the family unit together. Now, not to go off we started this. We wanted to start this conversation about this morning to mention George Soros. So we were going to take a break, but we're not going to take a break. We're going to just keep rolling through this. And the fact of the matter is, the money from this Black Lives Matter action pack, yo, Rod, you know, and I wish people knew this, how easy it is to follow the money.
Yeah. It's time. No. People don't have the time, but we do. We have the time to follow the money and do the research. We have the time. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
So it's one of these things where when you look, right? When you look at how much money comes in, and I'm looking at it right now, in 2022, the Black Lives Matter Action Pack raised $2.79 million and spent $3.06 million. And that's
right,
an offset for
right.
You know, and where does the money come from? That's the question. Where does the money come from? Who's funding all of this?
Rebuilding families with values and integrity. Well, unfortunately, Miss Edwards, unfortunately, Miss Angela, there's a group of people who do not agree with you on that. They think that the government should put. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a group of people, right? And let's not even give them a name right now. Let's not assign them a label at this point. There is a group of people who think what you're saying is absolutely out of pocket. Rebuilding families with values and integrity. No, they want the values to come from the government. They want the values to come from a group of people who have had their worldview shaped by, and again, it's very unfortunate. Rather bright people have went into academia and become completely brainwashed. They've been completely mentally usurped, and they actually subscribe to a dangerous ideology that ends up, you know, and we could go down a long conversation of explaining the relationship between academia and political policy, right? There's a connection between the academic philosophy and what's being taught and perceptions and what goes on in the voting booth. So the group, there's a side of people that don't want those values, because I can, and you can stop me when I'm wrong about these values that the sister's talking about here, rebuilding families. So we talking about a mama and a daddy. we talking about getting a high school diploma. We talking about either learning a trade or going into some type of field. We talking about going to church if that's what you may decide to do. We talking about not having children until you married. We talking about not going into debt and taking out loans that you can't repay. I don't think I said anything Sister Angela would disagree with. Those are the values. And you know, so there's a group of people who say that that's wrong. That's the white matriarchal way of thinking. That's the white patriarchy at work in the Western philosophy that has infiltrated your brain, brother.
Yeah. That's certainly it. Now, let me ask you this question, bro. Because one of the things when we talked about this off air is you look at the fact in certain places who's put these people in place. So you look down at where the money came from to get Letitia James elected. You look at the money, where did it come from to get Kim Foxx elected, and some of these other DAs that instead of prosecuting crime and keeping their community safe, right, and keeping their communities and doing what they're supposed to do, they're instead going after Donald Trump. They're instead doing that. So how much focus should George Soros get, number one, is my question to you, to pull this out? And then number two, is it a conspiracy theory to say that the money he's infusing into the system is having an effect on Black communities, especially when you look at groups like Black Voters Matter and all that kind of thing?
All right, cool. So this is to answer that question and to set us up, right? This is what I would say. Let's put George Soros into context. Okay, so his money has been connected to, I want to say, how many? So let's not even focus on Bragg. Let's just say he's definitely funded. Right, no. He's definitely funded over 50 district attorneys. So he according to this report, the Capital Research Center was the first to compile evidence from. Now listen, this is what we're telling you. campaign finance disclosure. All of y'all can go look up campaign finance disclosure. Every single one of y'all can go find out what's going on with people's political campaigns. It's public record. And local news reports scattered across the country detailing Soros's involvement in local prosecutor elections. So now we're tabling this because if you think this is a conspiracy theory, well, here's what you got. Widely covered by news outlets, including the Washington Examiner, right, the National Desk, and even including the New York Times, showed that Soros and his network of political action committees has flooded typically low-dollar district attorney elections with over $30 million backing left-wing what's called reform candidates. In total, Soros cash served as the backbone of 24, which is what? How many, Ali? That's 24?
24.
Successful election campaigns, ushering in radical candidates whose policies have created a crime wave so massive, even the New York Times had to acknowledge it. So what happens is you have
Rob,
this influx of money.
Hold on. Look at this. I'm going to do something right now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? If you don't know what this website is, okay? It's just something any and everybody can go look at. This is straight from the FEC filings. It's on Open Secrets. They use the FEC filings for this. November 21st, 2022, $50 million from George Soros, chairman of the Soros Fund Management, to Democracy PAC. Another $250,000. This is recent. Wisconsin Democrat Party, Democrat Senatorial Committee, 109.5 twice. And then another 36. Right. Rev Up PAC gets $50K. He got his $4,500 back.
Here's my
look
thing.
at that. He took his $4,500 back from Stacey Abrams.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Look, the Democrats in Ohio got 30 racks. Look who got $250,000 October 18th of 2022 from George Soros, the North Carolina Democratic Party.
All right. New York got some money from him somewhere in there. You'll see Alvin Bragg in there somewhere.
This is nuts.
So here's what I'm getting at, though. Here's what I'm getting at. I think Soros is a distraction. I really do. And here's what I mean by that, right? So look at all that money, right? But let's ask this question: Is Soros a media distraction, right? And what do I mean by that? Sure, we could trace this money, but if we ask this question, how much does the National Democratic Party spend? Let's ask that question. He gave them what? 50 million? So find out right now with the National Democratic, what are they looking like?
Okay.
In funding.
I'm going to look up the DNC right now. Hold on.
Yeah, what they looking like?
I'm looking at the DNC right now. Hold on.
And let's put this into context, because what I'm suggesting is I think people don't have enough context about what real money is and what real influence is. Yeah. So what do they have there?
They raised $307,689,598. They spent $316
So he put in 50
they got 30
million
million in cash on hand.
Listen, but he put in 50 million, bro. What's that to 300 million? Come on now. So while y'all talking about Soros, cool. Let's take that 50 million Soros put in, right? Let's do that. Let's take that. Go back to the total. Take the money that Soros put in away from the total. What do you got?
400, from the total raise, so that'll leave you at 250 million.
So did he make really?
I mean, look.
Where's this other 200? Hold on. So here's my question to you. Here's the other 250 million. Where's that other 250 million coming from? I'm about to show y'all where the other 250 million come from. So what I'm telling you guys, right, is that in the grand scheme of things, George Soros is not that, when I say not that important, right, Let's run through this real quick. You could pull that tab up full screen, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See what this is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The real-time billionaires list. This is from Forbes. You can go into Forbes, and today, right now, Elon's up 2.5 billion. He could be down, like you see this guy's down, the Bernard Arnault family, today they down 440 million. So when you hear them saying things like it's a shakeup up in corporate on a down $444 million day, you got a problem.
Yeah, a lot of people lost jobs.
Yeah, it's just there's something's going on. But anyway, my point being is this. Let's see where George Soros actually fits in the grand scheme of things as it relates to money. Because remember, we got to account for another $250 million aside from the small dollar donations from the average person. Let's just put this into context. Elon's sitting up here at the top with 217. And you know who's not on this list? Any of the Saudi money. At least not right now, I don't think. Anyway, so Elon, and let's just go through this slowly. You got your Bezos. Some of these names y'all know. Some of these names y'all have never heard in your life. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, we know. We know Zuckerberg, whose impact, I would say, trumps Soros' impact. Why are we not looking at the Zuckerberg impact on DA races? Larry Page, okay. Steve Ballmer, right? I don't know who Sergey Brin is. Then you got Bloomberg. Then you got Mukesh, right? Now look, y'all don't know these names.
I know who Carlos Slim is.
But we're at 13 and there's no Soros. So he's not right now, not in the top 15. He's not in the top 20.
Walmart's up there, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not.
Shan.
Yeah, but listen to what I'm
20?
saying. Your man Soros is not even in the top 20. And we worried about, when I say worried about, yes, he has an influence, but I think it goes beyond that because he's not look, we're in the top 25 now and he's not in the list. All right, let's keep going. Maybe he's at the top. No, look.
Li Ka-shing is number 30.
He's not in it.
Yeah, but you're still in the tens of billions. I think, what is George Soros worth? 6?
Yo, look. Really? Y'all, Soros is the boogeyman for real? Look. Oh, bro, come on. Really? He can't even stand on the same side of the street with some of these people. Yeah, once you start dropping down here, y'all not even vacationing the same. I mean, but where are we going with after $18 billion? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it all becomes a blur really after that. But what I'm saying is, there's a difference between 17 billion and 400 billion.
Right.
There's a difference. And look, we now in the 10s, we just getting the 16s real time. Like, come on, bro. Look.
Yo, so I'm just gonna pick one of them random names, right? Let's just keep going.
Hold on.
I want to get
down in his. I want to get to his money peer group though, right? Look how low this is. This is, and I mean low. I mean we not nowhere near this. This is obvious. No, this is the 1% of the 1% of the 1% right here. This is it. You don't even get more money than this. Like. But my point is if we talking that billionaire talk, 8 billion ain't the same as 48 billion. That ain't the same thing.
So you're saying they're not at the same country club?
Definitely. I mean, maybe y'all are all the guy with $58 billion don't go to the country club. The guy with $6 billion go to. Nah, that's just not a thing.
Yeah, I don't see him nowhere on the list.
Right. That's my point. So it's like this boogeyman. Oh, George Soros.
At least go down to 6.
Sure, Soros. He's such a scary man. There we go. 6.9. And now we might get to Soros. 6.8. So look at that. With no change. And it's all hedge funds.
Huh.
Guess who else you didn't see on this list?
Who else I didn't see on that list?
Where's Trump on this list?
Yo, Trump will be way down at the bottom.
Yeah, like
way, way down in the 1 or 2 billion.
Nah, I thought they said he was worth 5 or 7.
Nah, Trump is not worth $7 billion.
Oh, I heard wrong. I was told wrong.
Yeah, but
I
so
was
you're
told wrong.
saying basically, as we get on the tail end, you're saying Soros is really a distraction.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is the
2.6 billion
media
is what they got for Trump.
yeah, the media attention, right? The media attention, the media hype, the boogeyman, the yes, he's having an effect on races. My whole entire point going down that rabbit hole was showing y'all that okay, he's one guy. The Dems got 250 million. He put in 50. That has an impact, but there's still other people that are more, if not more significant in some of the affairs that are, some of the things that are taking place. And to be honest with you, it probably, I've seen races, and you can agree with this, that people have outspent and lost, right? Meaning my opponent outspent me and I still won, right? So knowing that's the case, right? That's why they won 24 out of 70 races they ran.
Right.
So, that's what it is what it is. But I'm just saying that the idea that, look, for example, the Saudi money is like, they don't even register it, right? It's like off the charts money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then the other thing.
Yo, hold on. This is I was gonna say the last piece to this. Yo, bruh's 93.
So to say what? At 93, he's not really. But I mean, what?
How many 93-year-olds do you know? He's saying that he's 93 and every day hurts. Yeah, at 93, every day hurts. I understand you got the millions and billions of dollars, but it hurts. What that got to do with your inner bones being 93? What that got to do with that? What that got to do with you having 93-year-old nerve endings? Explain, sir. Like,
yo, you said the other day
you still got 93-year-old telomeres.
Have you ever even seen George Soros? Like, have you ever actually seen him? The last time the last interview they got up here was from him was at the it looks like is at the World Economic Forum in Davos.
What year was that?
2000. This is a year ago, maybe.
Davos might have been 2 years ago now. Maybe, I don't know. But the point that I'm getting at is, yes, he's infiltrating the hood.
Look at the guy.
Leading civil society. I also want to mention that there is one person who was very deeply involved in Ukraine.
So I get your point, bro. I get your point. It's every bit of 90-something. I got you. But he looks like he's there. He's mentally there. He's, so do I think he's sitting around
maybe,
plotting?
Maybe. Yo, listen. He may be.
Okay, so what about the only reason George Soros gets the attention he gets because he's a Jew? And that feeds into the Jews control the world. What about that argument?
That adds to it. But what I'm getting at is y'all are forgetting the other. What was that list? What did that list get up to? 65, 70 people with billions of dollars. And some of them were, hey, we just gonna forget about the rest of their influence. Soros is thou how we shall not speak. Like, why did he become that? He only got 6 billion. I'm looking at people with 200, 100, 99, 98 billion, 97 billion. Yo, you don't think that those dollars have trickled down? Like, you don't think these people are, the influence is global?
They got aggregators and all that kind of stuff. If you don't know what an aggregator is,
they got
it's
a rabbit hole, man.
You see 600-700 people with the same exact dollar amount, $1,750.
Right. Well, we'll leave it here. We'll leave it here. Something to table as we go into the coming weeks. Right. What does the effects of these policies, these Soros funded, quote unquote, Soros funded DAs? What are the policy? What are the effects on the people that have to live in these communities where these policies are impacted? Meaning, what is the outcome when you have a rise in crime and murders and shootings and death And on one side of the coin, you have people saying, lower the incarceration rates, no incarceration. It's unjust that all these black people are being incarcerated. Then we look at the people being killed, and it's black people being killed. So what you're essentially saying is, let's not have a penalty for black people killing black people, is what that sounds like when you say that. When you say, I don't want, criminal justice reform, and then, okay, well, who are most of the criminals and who are most of the victims? Because when you talk about criminals, you then have to talk about when there's a victim, and the victim's rights and the victims being made whole should come before the concern for the criminal once gone through the legal process of a right to trial and legal due process and having been found guilty of beating Miss Smith up in the hallway and taking her wallet, right? We shouldn't be concerned about the conditions in the jail. In so much as like it's humane, right? But like advocacy for that over the advocacy for Miss Smith, who now has to go the rest of her life with headaches because she got hit in the head because the victim's rights should trump them.
We gotta make sure they have cable. They gotta be able to watch Maury. Like, come on.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. And so what are the psychological effects on those communities and those people who have to grow up in that condition? And the children
look at places like Chicago. We had that picture up of the DA Chicago that Soros.
Well, here, let me share this. Let me share this. Since we was talking about Kentucky and the governorship, right? Pull that up for me. Oh no, that's already up. So black residents in Kentucky and Indiana are killed in homicides at some of the highest rates in the nation, according to a new report. The annual study from the Violence Policy Center, a national educational organization working to stop gun death and injury, found Kentucky and Indiana have the nation's 6th and 5th highest black homicide victimization rates, respectively, in 2016. That is the most recent year for which data from the Federal Bureau of Investigation's supplementary homicide report is available. Kentucky had 106 black homicide victims in 2016, or a rate of 28.55 per 100,000 people, according to the report. Kentucky's rate at that time was more than 40% higher than the national black homicide victimization rate of 20.44 per 100,000, and more than 5 times the overall national homicide victimization rate of 5.1 per 100,000. So nationally at this time, 7,756 black victims died in homicides in 2016, and blacks represented about 13% of the U.S. population, but accounted for 51% of all homicide victims.
Wait, but you gotta blame white supremacy for that. You gotta blame the police. It's too many police killings of unarmed black men, though. That's out of
the 205 black homicide victims in Indiana, 184 were male, while Kentucky had 88 males. 87% of black homicide victims around the country were killed with guns. Okay. Now, that's irrelevant. For homicides in which the victim to offender relationship could be determined, 94% of black homicide victims in Indiana and 73% of victims in Kentucky were killed by someone they knew. In other words,
wait.
That's a slick way to go. What?
Black on black crime.
Without saying black on black crime.
Black on black crime. That's it. But again, ladies and gentlemen, that is where people don't want you to go. They don't want you to take the time to read the story. They want you to gloss over the headline and not dig in. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been checking out Top of the Morning. We went a little longer than 30 minutes. We're usually the best 30-minute morning show on the internet. However, If you haven't done so already, please go over to tuconservative.com, grab yourself a Hamilton plan. You can follow us on X at TU Conservative, on YouTube, TUC Twins, and everywhere else at TU Conservative. We will be live and direct again tomorrow for Top of the Morning. You're also going to want to be with us Friday. We've got an interview with the NC Right to Life folks. They've got Seth Dillon from the Babylon Bee coming to North Carolina, celebrating their 50 years. A lot of good stuff happening. So we will see you all bright and early tomorrow for Top of the Morning right here on the Urban Conservative. For that guy down there, my twin brother, Raheem Architect Soto, I'm Abdul Ali. Y'all have a good rest of your day, folks. Peace.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.